Good morning. This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV. It's time on this Saturday morning for the Mayor's Report, and along with me is Mayor Michael Beamish.
Well, good morning, Clint. Good morning, David, and good morning, all the listeners out there throughout this listening area.
It's been kind of a wet week again, had a little bit of wind, dropping some more leaves in round two of leaf pickup. Leaf pickup is going well throughout the city.
Well, you were absolutely right. We are dropping the leaves, and they're dropping in record numbers, it seems like, this week. But we've had some good days to do some raking and blowing of the leaves, and doing that, you see piles of leaves stacking up, and my wife and I take walks around the neighborhoods and like to do that. But, we've talked, you and I, David, we've all talked about how citizens can also help us in that leaf pickup. They're moving along well. We are in round two, as you just said, and we're going to do 3 rounds. And the leaves are really falling in round 2. And so we still ask people to pile their leaves away from the curb line so that there's a channel. As we know, you mentioned we did have some weather this week, and we need to have runoff for the water and to the storm sewers. So as you and I have talked about for, I don't know, about a month now, keeping those storm sewers free and clear.
Yeah.
And when it starts snowing, we need to keep those fire hydrants free and clear.
Yes.
Along with the storm sewers. But in our walks, I have to say, we still need to remind everybody to take the leaves and put them in piles, strictly leaves.
In their own pile of leaves.
And if you do, and I know this is a time with the wind and everything, you pick up sticks, the sticks should be separated. And that's for the protection of our equipment. It allows us to be more effective and more efficient in the leaf pickup side of things, which is a service that we do provide our citizens in the fall. And then have a pile for your sticks. And I think you've said this, Clint, many times, bundle them up. It's easy to grab,
It's the easiest way that they can pick them up and toss them on the truck, or if they have the tea bags,
right,
so that they can pick those up. And get those loaded on the truck. And the main reason, when we had talked to Jerry, it's because of the machinery can't pick up the leaves.
And as the leaves get wet, it's harder to get those leaves cleaned up anyway. So you're just helping by setting up a stack, bundled is the best way to do. And then we get those picked up along with the recycling and the trash pickup and any big large item pickup. There's a lot of services that a few guys on the street do every day of the week, and so this is just an opportunity. And another thing I have to say is, and it's just a very, and Jerry said this many times, very small portion of our citizens that may take things and just toss them. And when they toss them, if they toss them in, say, a can into a leaf pile, that could jeopardize the machinery as well, or a plastic can. So they need to all be recycled in a proper way. Branches recycled in a proper way, loose clippings and stuff, proper way, and put those leaves, because we do want to help our citizens get those leaves picked up, and we need to do it in the best and the most effective and efficient way we can. And they do a great job. They really, really do.
Well, you wouldn't sweep up Legos in your house with your upright vacuum cleaner because it's going to destroy it. So in that same kind of theory, you can't have chunky things in the leaves, or it's going to break the equipment. Only it's a lot more expensive to fix that than it is your vacuum cleaner.
That's a good analogy, Clint. That's a great analogy and a good example.
Separating those things out.
But, and I know it's very difficult when you take those leaves. There's only so many places you can pile leaves, and we're trying to get those as quick as we can. But leaving that channel is good for our citizens and their residents because it does let that water run off in the storm drain, keeping that clear as well. So those are just the little things during this busy time of the year that can keep things moving forward.
Well, everything's looking festive downtown as things get ready. We record this show a little earlier in the week, so at the moment the tree isn't here, but we're looking to possibly see the tree by this weekend. And for the holiday open house that's going on right now.
Well, it was scheduled to be up on Thursday. It obviously is weather permitting, as always. But we do have the tree coming from Glendale Avenue here in Troy. Roger Adams is the donor of the tree this year, and so I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful setting for our Christmas season, our holiday season. We have a lot of things going on. Even this weekend, we have a lot of things going on, right, Clint?
Right in the middle of the holiday open house. Today at 3 o'clock, Mayflower Arts Center, along with Main Street, is showing the holiday movie Elf for free for the first 130 people that come to the theater.
And that fills the seats.
Yeah, and that fills the seats. That's right. So not only are the shops open late and you're going to find great deals downtown, there's just a lot of that Christmas spirit is going on.
And that takes place on Sunday as well.
Yes, so Sunday as well.
Today we have, on Saturday we also have the Sunday to get out and support your downtown merchants. You know, you mentioned the Mayflower Arts Center, and I want to give a big shout out and the teaming between the Miami Valley Military Museum and the Mayflower Arts Center. Past Friday, they had a tribute to the troops. And, you know, Veterans Day has just passed, and where we should be saluting our veterans every day. But
Absolutely.
We do have a special national day, and on that Friday prior, they had a tribute to the troops at the Mayflower Arts Center. It was well attended, and I'm sure it's going to grow because I think annually they're going to do something. It's like a USO show.
Yes.
And it was just, my wife and I attended. It was just a wonderful, Chrissy Barker was the MC. It was just a nice thing, and the Military Museum helped sponsor that along with some other sponsors. But big shout out to the Mayflower Arts Center. They keep coming up with ideas and to draw people downtown to the Arts Center, just like the movie showing that you talked about.
Yeah, and more than just movies.
That's right.
So it's really opened up to folks downtown. Great events that she has over there for kids and adults, all ages. And it just takes me back to when I was a kid and the amount of movies I know I saw at the Mayflower.
I know it has a lot of history to it, and she's trying to bring back that history in a lot of variety of ways. And it's a draw to our downtown, which is a beautiful downtown. The tree will just be an accent to the Christmas and holiday season. The lights downtown.
Yes,
you know, we've seen them tested.
The lights they've been working on those, getting the lights up, tested. I've seen them early in the morning, and then they shut them back off. But I can't wait for all of that for the grand illumination. But it's also brought out something else. I know Lori and I have called them square squirrels, but
I know what you're talking about.
But you'll wind up with the missing light bulbs. It's vandalizing public property or city property.
You know, and we all appreciate our downtown.
Yes.
And again, we're as Jerry Mullins has said many times. It's just a really small percentage of folks that want to maybe take the holiday spirit out of the downtown by vandalizing. And this is the time of year we should be cheerful, happy, kind to one another, and that also is a protection of what we are trying to present to all residents, all citizens, all visitors to our downtown. And so I ask everybody to certainly be responsible, respect what the electricians and the park officials have been doing. They've been working extra hard.
Yes.
It takes extra time. And by us helping to protect the lights and the tree, and you know, it just allows them to continue to do their job better and more efficiently.
And it helps keeps our downtown looking as beautiful
Right.
as it does.
So when we do that countdown on November 27th,
Yes.
I think it's a Friday
It's
night illumination
27th.
at 6 o'clock-ish, And there's going to be so many more holiday activities going on in the downtown area. It's going to be a wonderful time, but when we count down, we hit 0, the lights all come on. We want to say all lights.
That's right. And that way the city electricians don't wind up spending every morning down here replacing light bulbs.
Yeah.
Which eats up a lot of their time and valuable time that they could be working on other things.
Well, that's true. That's true.
All right. We've got council is coming up here next.
Yeah, council's coming up on
Monday?
I'm trying to think. It'll be Monday. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the day. I think that's 16th.
16th?
16th, 7 o'clock, City Hall. And I might add, for this next program that we'll have, we're going to have a guest, Sue Knight. Everybody knows Sue. She's our administrative assistant. She's also our clerk of council. And she'll be the guest on the mayor's report. And she will talk about the council updates and any new highlights that she wants to share. But today, Clint,
I see you're wearing your
you
Troy
may want to
Community
know
Radio
I'm
shirt.
proudly wearing your shirt, the center shirt, the radio station shirt, the TV shirt. And I guess what I want to do today is, to close our show, is to talk about the support, the encouragement, the pride you show in not only our downtown, but the whole Troy community and the activities. So, David, I know, and you and Clint work so hard to keep this station moving forward. I guess I have a couple of questions. I wore the shirt because I want it to be seen that I support this station, and I appreciate everything you do for the community. But, Clint, a lot of people they may know your name and they hear it, but I'd like to hear a little bit about your background and talk about the station. How did it come to be in this beautiful section of downtown Troy?
Well, for starters, I graduated from Troy High School in '88.
Good.
So a Trojan, true and true.
I think David did too.
Yes.
not in '88, but
No, not in '88. Good point, David.
But Scott Hornberger and I both graduated together and have been friends and worked together in radio over the years. And as time went on, I had gotten pretty much out of radio, just doing voiceover work. And Scott had been doing sales. And we met one afternoon and were just reminiscing about how we miss radio. And it kind of got that wild hair where it was like we could start an internet radio station and do it in Troy. And that's where it started. And there's a new movement in the United States with the low power FM, and which is what we are. And it's community based. So it's based all around Troy. And these licenses opened up with we used to have radio stations all over. Right. And big radio stations. Right. Well, they've all been bought up by the big radio, and they're all kind of that conglomerate, and have moved to Dayton. And the small communities lost their voice. So this was a chance to get back into radio the way we see it for the small community.
Now, when was Troy Community Radio actually started? What, a couple of years ago, a year ago?
3.5 years ago.
Because I know you do a lot of remotes, and our show, of course, and you do other shows, all supporting the community. You mentioned that, and there's really only a couple of stations left in this Miami Valley that you would say
it's still local.
Yeah, still local, and still do local news. And you know, I really appreciate both. But there's a couple stations. Troy Community Radio as being one, but I certainly support them because they support us. They look at what's going on in your community. We have a lot to be proud of, and you highlight that. So I want to thank you. Your background in radio, you have great radio voice. David, I know you've been a TV guy, and it's nice to see you partner together. I've said that to you before. I thought it was nice that maybe I get a chance to say thank you to you during this Christmas season, the holiday season, and let you know how much we appreciate you, and that's why I wear this shirt proudly today to show my support for you and what you do for our community on a regular basis. And let's talk about the sports programs. And a lot of people don't realize that, but Troy Community Radio has have outreach into the athletic department. Do you want to talk a little bit? I know you don't do necessarily the games.
We've got
Dave
Dave Fisher does the announcing for the games. Of course, local radio, a big part of that has always been the local high school sports. And we're fortunate enough that we have not only Troy High School, but Troy Christian.
That's right.
So we break it up half and half, and we follow the football. This was our third season that we just finished of Troy High School football. We're headed into basketball, and then, of course, we've got baseball as we get into the warm weather months. But, yeah, it's nice to be able to put that out, and being online, too. Not everyone still lives in Troy. So if someone lives in Florida or California or wherever it may be, they can still tune in and hear their grandkids maybe playing their sport and have it announced. So it's a way for people that live outside of Troy to stay in touch with family and remember and see what's going on in their hometown.
Well, you know, as the voice of the Trojans, as I've been in the football season, you know, I see Troy Community Radio doing remotes for sports broadcasts, and you mentioned Dave Fisher. I think we also have Chuck Fox.
Yes, Chuck Fox.
I've seen him up there. Doug Page I've seen up there. I know you have other volunteers, people who want to give back to the community, and I know that's a feature that you mentioned it. A lot of grandparents like to hear their grandson, granddaughter's name being called out.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity for doing that. And that's another avenue that I see. Do you have vision or Scott have a vision? How far do you want to see the station go in terms of the future? I know you're doing sports, you're doing community service, you're doing update programs, regular programs like the Mayor's Report. But have there been discussions of where you'd like to see this go?
Well, there's a possibility that we'll be able to raise our power a little bit. It just gives us a further reach to make sure that we can cover the county. But it's always going to be focused on Troy. That's the heart of where we are, and that's
sort of where you are downtown.
That's right.
And
that's who we're dealing with. The biggest things that probably you'll see added here in the new future would be the TCTV, and that's David Denoyer with programming on demand, and it will be things here in Troy.
Wow, that sounds good. I knew there was lots of thinking and planning in the process, and I guess this was just an opportunity today. I wanted to, as we start this Christmas holiday season, that we should all start to look at the good things that we have, and I don't know, sometimes I like to think that if we show a little kindness, we get kindness coming back. If we give a little, we get back more. And, you know, certainly you have done a great job promoting, and I just thought it would be nice today to reverse a little bit. That's why I'm wearing my shirt, and just let you have a chance to highlight some of the things that you're doing with this station. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for coming in this morning and always taking the time to sit down with us. I think it's another crucial part of communicating with the city and to the citizens.
And if I'm not here, we'll always have somebody to represent us. And next week, Sue Knight, great representative, and she'll give us our council updates and any updates that the community might want to know about.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anything else you want to add in?
Nope. I think I've said enough today for one radio show anyway.
All right. Well, maybe we'll set you up with your own shift.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank
this
you.
has been the Mayor's Report. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV.